You know the feeling all too well, walking down the hallway or sitting in class, when the atmosphere shifts and you feel the eyes on you. You hear the whispers, see the smirks, and suddenly you're a target. It feels like the world is closing in and you're powerless to stop it. But here's the thing, you have more power than you realize, more than those bullies will ever want you to believe. The first step in stopping bullies in their tracks is to recognize that you are not alone in this. There are people who care about you, and there are resources to help you. But the real power to stop the bullies lies within you. It's about taking control of the situation and not letting their words or actions affect you. You might be wondering how that's possible, how you can just ignore the hurt. Well, it starts with your mindset. When you realize that their bullying is more about their issues than it is about you, you can start to take a step back emotionally. You don't need to take their words personally. Their actions reflect their insecurities, not your worth. And when you start seeing them for what they truly are, people who are hurting you, begin to disarm them. Bullies want to see you react. They want to see you crumble. But when you remain calm and collected, you take away their satisfaction. Now, let's talk about standing firm. When you're faced with a bully, your body language plays a huge role in how they perceive you. It's easy to shrink back, to show fear. But what if you stood tall instead? What if you squared your shoulders, looked them in the eye, and refused to back down? Bullies thrive on seeing you cower. So don't give them that satisfaction. Stand strong, even if it's just on the inside. Because when you project confidence, they'll begin to lose their grip on you. But it's not always easy to stay calm when someone is pushing you, when the words sting and the humiliation is real. But it's in these moments that you have a choice. You can either react in anger, which only fuels the fire, or you can take control of the situation. You have the power to choose your response. And when you respond with calmness and confidence, you take away their ability to affect you. It's important to remember that you don't have to face the bully alone. Speak up. Don't let their behavior slide. It's easy to be silent, to hope it goes away on its own, but that rarely works. The more you tolerate their actions without saying anything, the more power you give them. Tell the bully that their actions are unacceptable. Speak in a firm but calm voice and make it clear that their behavior will not be tolerated. Sometimes, just standing up for yourself and asserting your boundaries is enough to stop them in their tracks. But let's be honest, it's not always that simple. Sometimes the bullying is relentless, and it feels like no matter what you do, it never stops. That's when it's time to get others involved. Tell someone you trust, whether it's a teacher, a counselor, or a friend. You don't have to face this alone, and you shouldn't. Bullies can only thrive when they're allowed to get away with their actions. So it's important to speak out, not just for yourself, but for others who might be going through the same thing. You might fear that speaking out will make things worse, that the bullying will escalate, but you have to remember that silence only empowers the bully. Speaking out, however, gives you the power back, and it sends a message that bullying will not be tolerated. It's also important to find ways to build your support network. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who encourage you to stand strong. When you have a support system, it's easier to face the bullies head on, and it's harder for them to break you down. But sometimes it's about being proactive. Think about ways to avoid situations where the bullies can target you. If you know there's a particular group or area where bullying happens frequently, try to avoid it when possible. It's not about running away, but about protecting yourself. You have the right to feel safe, and if there's an opportunity to remove yourself from a potentially harmful situation, then take it. Another powerful tool is to find your voice. And I don't mean just speaking up in the moment, but finding ways to express yourself beyond the bullying. This can be through journaling, art, music, or any form of creative expression that helps you process your emotions. The more you can channel your feelings in a positive way, the less power the bullies have over your mind. When you express yourself, you take control of your emotions, and that makes it harder for anyone to manipulate or hurt you. It's also important to understand that your feelings are valid, and it's okay to feel upset, hurt, or angry when someone bullies you. You don't have to be strong all the time, and you don't have to hide your feelings. But while it's okay to feel those emotions, it's also important to know how to cope with them in a healthy way. Find ways to release that anger and frustration, whether it's through physical exercise, deep breathing, or talking to someone you trust. Don't let those emotions build up inside of you. Find a way to let them go. Lastly, one of the most powerful ways to stop bullies in their tracks is to focus on your own growth. When you focus on improving yourself, your confidence builds, and you become less susceptible to their attacks. Work on developing skills, hobbies, and interests that make you feel good about yourself. The more you invest in your own growth, the less you'll care about what others think. You'll be so focused on becoming the best version of yourself that the bullies won't even be able to touch you. It's time to stop letting bullies control your life. You have the power to stop them in their tracks. You have the strength to stand up for yourself. And you have the right to feel safe and respected. Don't let anyone make you feel less than you are. You're worthy, you are powerful, and you are in control. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, because you will learn tons of information in the next video.